Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're doing our check ride scenario from GSO to LYH, our ferry flight. That's our route. The purpose is to ferry a PA-28 and return to service after maintenance. Our plan is another pilot is going to fly us out there, and then we're going to ferry it back. It'll be its first post-maintenance flight and expected to return before nightfall. I have a commercial pilot with instrument rating, working on my flight instructor. Have 20 hours in the PA-28, which isn't a ton, but it's enough to have a good enough knowledge to be able to fly it back and be familiar with emergency procedures, etc. We a dispatcher at the flight school, so that helps a little bit with planning experience. The aircraft is a PA-28 with a recent engine overhaul and new avionics. Airworthiness and everything has been checked by A&P. It is the first post-maintenance ferry flight. So that's a little risk management there. Responsibility for monitoring performance of the aircraft as you fly it back. All the weather looks good. Looks like a calm spring day. Calm winds and clear skies at GSO. And at LYH, the METAR and TAF say light winds and clear skies are forecasted. Always want to be, coming from Texas and Oklahoma though, you always want to be prepared for pop-up storms. It happens all the time here. So just something to keep in the back of your mind and have a plan. It's a daytime operation, so that should be a little easier than if it were at night. Really want to impress the flight school management so you can get hired on as a CFI when you're done with CFI. First solo post-maintenance ferry flight, so you're not flying with anybody else, you're flying by yourself. As a pilot, I feel like we always have get-there-itis because we're trying to advance as quickly as we can and get to the airlines, which we gotta learn to slow down. The pilot is proficient but relatively low time in the aircraft. The aircraft is freshly maintained, need to still monitor it closely. Environment, VFR, but check weather pretty frequently. Keep an eye on the weather, you never know. External pressures, we're trying to stay professional and avoid pressure influence like get-there-itis or impressing school management and stuff like that. You should get the plane there safely and use there safely. Complete thorough pre-flight. That's something you want to do before every flight. It has new avionics in it, so you need to make sure the night before I'm looking at manuals, watching YouTube videos, doing everything I can to be as familiar as I can with those avionics. Biblical insight, Proverbs 15:22, seek wise counsel for safety. Maybe call a friend who has 200 hours in that aircraft and be like, hey man, is there anything specific I should watch for? Do these have known problems? Do you know anything about these avionics? You can always ask for help, and most of the time people are going to give it to you. We applied our risk management concepts, our PAVE checklist, our risk mitigation, hazardous attitudes, all that. We talked about pilot responsibility. It's all on the PIC, everything. And recognizing personal and operational limitations. Lessons for future application. All post-maintenance is always up in the air time. You always want to make sure everything's good. Make sure it's checked by the right people or certified people. Maintain high personal standards and risk awareness. Personal minimums on weather. Personal minimums on, if you want to do that flight and you ask them, but you're not comfortable doing it by yourself, see if you can take a safety pilot with you. And that's it.